Here is Zach Bryan. And here is Walker Hayes. I mean, it's really hard to find two artists that are any more different, right? So when Zach took aim at Fancy Like, it was kind of a what did you expect sort of moment until Zach followed up, and then Walker responded, and it became really clear that this had nothing to do with the Applebee's song at all. There is something going on in Zach's life right now that not only changes this entire conversation, but makes it much, much more important than two dudes just finger fighting on social media. This all started with this song. I believe I found it here in your love. In Your Love is left of mainstream, but really good songwriting from an Americana artist who's been writing really good songs for over a decade. That timeline is important to understand what Zach Bryan said after heaping some praise on Tyler Childers for cracking country radio airplay charts for the first time in his life. I've got him at number 50 on the Billboard Country Airplay chart currently. Zach followed up this tweet with another that reads, quote, "Imagine being radio, whoever the hell that is, hearing Shake the Frost and being like, no, let's go with the Applebee's song." Shots fired, right? Too much? Too honest? Comment below. Almost immediately, Zach walked it back with this message on X that said he meant it with humor, not malice. And in a moment, you're going to see that Walker Hayes did not get the joke. But first, a hot take. Zach was being honest when he said not insulting anyone. At least he wasn't trying to insult anyone. He was showing a lack of understanding about how radio selects songs by comparing Shake the Frost to Fancy Like, and the rest of this video is going to explore that, as well as why you can replace Shake the Frost with several Zach Bryan songs. Tap the subscribe button if you appreciate this kind of original country music news and analysis, and please consider supporting our efforts by exploring the Taste of Country store. So much cool goods and wares there. Like this t-shirt. I kind of think it sends a message to give it as a gift, but, maybe that's not very nice. Link below. Big thanks in advance. And now no more commercials unless YouTube plugs them in. Too soft and bright, greeting from the sun. Tyler Childers wrote and released Shake the Frost in 2013 and released it on a live compilation album. Walker Hayes' Fancy Like was released on a major record label in 2021. At no point was a radio programmer forced to choose between them, in part because radio programmers aren't going back 8 years to find new music. The other part of this is a question of Tyler's attempt to get radio airplay. 2013 was peak bro country, so I really don't think that Shake the Tree had much of a chance of making a dent on playlists. But I'm willing to bet that he never presented this song to radio in some official capacity. This happens all the time. Fans and radio critics wonder why radio isn't playing some obscure deep cut. It's kind of like wondering why Walmart isn't stocking your favorite product. Did the vendor meet with Walmart or even try to get that product on shelves? Usually the answer is no, and yeah, I realize that I'm comparing mainstream country radio to Walmart. You can do with that what you want. There's pros and cons. Irony is that Fancy Like hit radio not 10, but 11 years after Walker Hayes debuted with a song called Pants.
Oh, that song almost ended my career, I think, before it even began. I got dropped from Capitol Records. I remember that song. It flopped hard.
So in a way, Tyler is right on time. And that brings me to the second part of what Zach Bryan was really mad about. It's not about Walker, and it's not about Tyler at all. It might have more to do with his own icy reception at country radio.
I remember everything.
His song, I Remember Everything, has been the #1 song on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart for 15 straight weeks, but that chart is a marriage of streaming, airplay, and sales numbers. He's #1 streaming, #1 sales, but way down at number 28 on country radio. That's just below Kenny Chesney's new song, but above Carrie Underwood's latest. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. In 2022 and 2023, Something in the Orange spent dozens of weeks at or near the top of the Hot Country Songs chart because it was a sales and streaming monster, but it barely sniffed it. I'm not kidding. It peaked at like number 20 overall and was number 55 on the year-end most played country songs list. That was just above Mitchell Tenpenny, We Got History. So take another look at Zach's tweets, specifically this line about, quote, just bent about the first ever on mainstream radio thing. Whose? I guess it's worth mentioning that at some point, a programmer likely did hold Something in the Orange in one hand and Fancy Like in the other and decide to play the Applebee's song. Something was officially released in April 2022, but it was getting a bunch of unsolicited attention before that, and I know it sounds like I'm banging on Zach, but I'm really not. I share his frustration that radio is slow to embrace Americana artists or any song that relies on emotional depth. The format would be so much better served with Fancy Like plus Something in the Orange and I Remember Everything and In Your Love, and whatever the pop country earworm of the day is, that's probably a video for another day. I'm going to wrap this video with Walker Hayes' official response to all of this. Yeah, he pays attention to his mentions, but he kind of took the high road. Big shout to radio for playing that Applebee's song. Zach and Tyler, praying y'all's continued success. Anyone else think he might have sent that with grinded teeth? Yeah, same. I'm Billy Dukes with Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.